What's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with my Boston Bruins franchise mode series here on NHL 17, and it is time. The Season 1 playoffs are finally here, and we play the defending Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round. Now, as far as the lineup goes, we are going to change up the bottom six. It's going to be Bolesky, Spooner, and Austin Czarnik, with Schaller, Achari, and Riley Nash. On the fourth line, defensively, we are still without Zdeno Chara, and we are going to go with Matt Grzelcyk until he gives us a reason not to go with him. Of course, we have Matt Bartkowski, and we have Nate Prosser there, but maybe, just because of the type of player Matt Grzelcyk is, just maybe he can provide something that we don't have. I mean, we do have an offensive defenseman in Torrey Krug, but a good passing rating, good offensive awareness. He's just not a physical player. We will see what he can do. And also, Danton Heinen should be replacing, hopefully, Riley Nash next year. But the main focus right now, of course, is on the Penguins and this first round matchup. So let's take a look at who the Penguins have on their roster, if they made any decent moves. They have us beat in every category aside from goaltending. And, of course, Sidney Crosby is their captain. Didn't expect him to go anywhere. And, of course, we know they have the NHL's leading scorer with 99 points, Evgeny Malkin. But here we go. First line is Patrick Hornqvist. We won't be able to see the stats until a little bit later. But it's Hornqvist, Crosby, and Phil Kessel. Goddamn. Second line is Chris Kunitz, Evgeny Malkin, and Carl Hagelin. Third line, Scott Wilson, Nick Bonino, and Connor Sheary. And on the fourth line, Tom Kuhnhackl, Matt Cullen, and Eric Fair. Obviously, a pretty damn solid team, and good for them, too, to have gotten a little bit of progression out of Scott Wilson and Tom Kuhnhackl. Defensively, it is Justin Schultz and Chris Letang together. An interesting pairing. Second pairing is Trevor Daley and Brian Dumoulin. And the third pairing is Ian Cole and Derek Pouliot. The goaltending, though, is the big question, and I imagine it's Matt Murray. It is not. It is apparently going to be Marc-Andre Fleury, both 87 overall. As far as scratched players, there's the big injury. It's Olli Maatta, and Brian Rust is scratched. So we will check the injury report to see how long Olli Maatta is out for. We'll quickly get a look at the Penguin stats, and then we will start the sim here on this opening series. So hopefully, fingers crossed, Olli Maatta's out for a while. Chara's still out for 2 weeks. Won't be fully healthy until we get into the month of May. But let's see here. Let's scroll all the way over to Pittsburgh, and Olli Maatta will be back very, very soon. He'll probably only miss game 1. So not much luck on our side there. Quickly, and I mean very quickly, I don't want to take too long, let's look at Pittsburgh's stats in the regular season. Of course, we looked at ours at the end of the last episode, but here we go. The Pittsburgh Penguins, and we'll actually sort by position. So Malkin, 99 points. Crosby, 87. Yep, that makes sense, doesn't it? And Nick Bonino with 48. Matt Cullen with 26 on the fourth line. Not too bad. Bonino and Cullen, both minus players. Left wings, you have Carl Hagelin, who we know is playing on the right side. He had 52 points. Chris Kunitz, 41. Kuhnhackl, 30. And Scott Wilson with 18. Phil Kessel had an 80-point season. Hornqvist, 63. Sheary, 33. Fair, 21. And Brian Rust did not play that much. Defensively, Chris Letang had a great year. 62 points. Everyone else kind of drops off a bit from there, although a 29-point season from Schultz, he probably would have broken the 30 mark, is not too bad for him. The goaltending, Fleury did get the majority of starts and had better stats. Only a .903 save percentage for Murray, a .916 for Fleury, which, in fairness to Matt Murray, isn't that great either. But the playoffs, as we all know, are a different animal. I didn't mean to hit play game. That'll add a couple more seconds to this episode. That's fine. The playoffs are a different animal. Anything can happen. Hopefully we can find a way to win. That's the goal, isn't it? That is the dumbest thing I've ever said. First period of game one at TD Garden. Let's see what happens. And David Backes gets the opening goal. We were outshot 11-5. Not ideal, but we have the lead. Second period, and it is still in our favor. Torrey Krug made it 2-0. Hagelin got it back under a minute later. And then 30 seconds after that, Trouba restores the 2-goal lead. So Krug and Trouba stepping up there, our top pairing on defense. And they both get a goal just over a minute apart. Not too bad. That sets up this third period. We really closed the gap there on shots. Limited Pittsburgh's offense, but they did get a goal. They have a power play that we are able to kill off. We have a power play of our own. Nothing doing. We have another one. Still nothing happening. 5 minutes to go. It's looking pretty good for us here. Tuukka Rask shuts the door. 1 goal allowed, and the Bruins take home the win in game number 1. David Backes, your first star with 2 points, a 27 saves, a .964 save percentage for Tuukka Rask, and 2 assists for David Krejci. Not a bad way to start that series at all. Now, there is something I forgot to do, which kind of sucks, and if you guys ever forget to do this, try not to forget. Change your ticket prices during the playoffs. You can set them to be a little bit higher. Kind of an obvious thing that I occasionally forget to do, so we just lost out on a little bit of that sweet, sweet playoff money. But that's okay. I'm not exactly worried about profits. I'm worried about winning cups and winning playoff series. And so far, so good. Our first playoff game of this series, and we take home a win. We will get straight in, though, to game number 2. And, of course, we know the Providence Bruins will have playoff games coming up as well that we can pay attention to. But for the time being, all the focus is right here. Game 2 against the Penguins. Let's see what happens. First period, and we get the opening goal again, and again, it is David Backes stepping up in the playoffs, earning that money. That's what I like to see. Strong start for a second period. Can we hold on, though? And we cannot. It was a matter of time. Malkin and Kessel, that top line, gets 2 goals. We're being outshot 27-12. Can't say that the Pens haven't deserved this lead. They get a power play early in the third that we were able to kill off. We have a power play of our own. Our power play is anemic, kind of like the Bruins' real-life power play. But Matt Grzelcyk, hold on, we are pausing. Let that sink in. Matt Grzelcyk has tied this game up. Holy shit. We made the right choice to keep him in already. I'm happy with that. 7:40 to go in the third. We have a tie game. Let's see what happens here. Down the final stretch, Scott Wilson with the goal. Will that be the game winner? It is not! David Backes, you beauty! Oh my God. Honesty time. I expected us to be swept. I did. We had a terrible start to the season. Kind of a fluky way to win the Atlantic Division title. This game still might be over. But David Backes scores. It's not quite Matthew Tkachuk level with 1 second to go, but with 21 to go, David Backes gets his second of the game. That gets us to overtime. Don't blink. You might miss it. Come on, boys. Power play. Power play. Please. It's another power play. Oh, my God. We had 2 straight. We have another one. We have another one. And Colin Miller. Colin Miller, the defense, stepping up. 4 goals from defensemen in the first 2 games of this series. And the Bruins are up 2-0 on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Holy hell. Unbelievable. Backes scores with 21 seconds to go, and then Colin Miller, of all people, he had a terrible season. He gets the game winner. First period, we took 3 straight penalties. Second period, they took 3 straight penalties. Third period, it bounced, and then in overtime, they took 3 straight penalties. Delay a game on Brian Dumoulin, holding on Tom Kuhnhackl, and a high sticking call on Chris Kunitz, and that was enough. Third time was the charm. And Colin Miller gets that game winner. David Backes, once again your first star, with 4 points. He was involved in all 4 goals. David Krejci with another 3 assists. He has 5 points in 2 games. And then Colin Miller, your third star of the game, with the GWG in overtime. And Joe Morrow goes down to injury for about a week. All right. I'm even more impressed that we were able to win that game because Joe Morrow went down. Now, I'm pretty sure Matt Bartkowski is a lefty, and indeed he is. So Matt Bartkowski is going to get the call up here. Jesus Christ, man. I can't believe that. And it's a good thing, too. Well, not a good thing. I was going to take a look at our lines regardless, because we absolutely need to look at the power play unit. But so far, 5 points for Krejci, 6 points for Backes, shooting 50%. But let's see here. We're going to keep Grzelcyk with Carlo. Bartkowski will play with Colin Miller. Let's look at the power play, and it's Krug and Grzelcyk are actually out there. That's probably not the best idea. Let's get Trouba with Krug and Miller with Grzelcyk, and that already looks better. I think that might help it out as it is. Tuukka Rask, a .940 save percentage through 2 games. We need to just fill somebody in here down in Providence. We don't want to jeopardize their run too much. It is going to have to be Emil Johansson that steps in, which is all right. We will put him down there with Chris Casto, and things are still looking good. Of course, the extra attacker spot needs to be filled. Why was Matt Bartkowski, and why is Nate Prosser, for that matter, an extra attacker? Best lines is just strange. That's the only way to put it. We'll get Danton Heinen in there. Finally, we are set, and we are good to continue with the sim here. So without Zdeno Chara and without Joe Morrow at this point now, and Jordan Schwartz goes down to injury in Providence. Jesus Christ. We have a 2-0 lead. Let's not overlook that. Against all odds, I'd say, despite winning our division and having home ice advantage, we have a 2-0 lead. Anything could happen from here, but an impressive start nonetheless. Let's do this. Game 3 in Pittsburgh. Let's go. First period is scoreless. Outshot again, 17-7. Thank God for Tuukka Rask. Second period, scoreless. We're outshot 31-16 now in total. But Rask is keeping us in it. I have a feeling Pittsburgh is going to score early. We're 5 minutes in. Anything could happen, man. It's just like the real team. If Tuukka stands on his head, we have a chance. It's the Carey Price effect, you might want to call it. 5 minutes to go in the third. Still no score. Holy shit. We are going to overtime in Game 3, scoreless. How often does that happen? That is insane. Outshot 41-27. But we're still in this. We're still in this. Next goal wins. Don't blink, you might miss it. Overtime in game number 3. Colin Miller scored the winner last time on the power play. That power play disappears quickly. Pittsburgh has one of their own. 5-on-3 for the Pens. We kill it off. Are you kidding? 6 minutes left in overtime. Next goal wins, and Sidney Crosby scores on their 54th shot. Oh my God, 54 shots to 33. I mean, I am pissed off at every single skater. Tuukka Rask made 53 saves. First star over Fleury, who had the shutout, and over Crosby, who got the game winner. Very disappointing to lose that game. Rask gave us every opportunity to win. That was the best playoff performance from a goalie I think I have ever seen in one of these sims, online or off. That was absolutely incredible. So bravo to Rask for that. It is just an absolute shame that we were not able to get him the win. Very disappointing in the offense, too, to just be shut down like that. I mean, Fleury had a great game. Clearly, their defense did well. I do want to take a look at the lines. I know, obviously, we're still up 2-1 in this series, but we need to see. I mean, obviously, our top line is struggling. They're quiet. The second line's doing all right, to the point where I'm going to make the second line the top line, something the Bruins have done in the past. The good news is that third line's not getting ripped apart, is the fourth line, though. The fourth line's not doing too well. And, let's see. You know what? I'm going to go with my gut here. We are going to call up Danton Heinen, and he is going to play for Riley Nash. Riley Nash has been atrocious this year, just in every aspect. As my as my voice starts to give out. Holy fuck. Swig of water. We're back 100%. Jesus Christ. I am sorry for that. Sorry for that. I'm actually tempted Anton Bleed or Brian Ferlin. I'm actually tempted to call up one of these two. Anton Bleed's a bit more aggressive and a bit better defensively. So I'm wondering, Danton Heinen, you know what, I'm going to call up Anton Bleed. We're going to give Anton Bleed the chance, and we'll leave Danton Heinen down for now. But no doubt in my mind, Riley Nash needs to be scratched. He has just not done well enough. And we'll see who we can slot in here. Down on the baby bees, that'll be Brock Higgs, who gets to join in. Let's just go with that setup right there, because it doesn't really matter. So Anton Bleed will get the chance in Game 4. We need a better offensive performance. We need a better defensive performance. To give up that many shots is absolutely brutal. The Wannabes play the Syracuse Crunch in the first round, but for now our attention is right here and right now. Game 4 in Pittsburgh. Let's see what happens. First period, and Eric Fair draws first blood 1 minute and 32 seconds into this game. Not ideal. I think my math's correct on that. I don't know. I'm still trying to recover from my voice giving out on me, to be honest. Outshot 15-9 in that first period. Second period, can we turn it around? We cannot. Patrick Hornqvist. And all of a sudden, the offense has completely dried up, and we are in danger of blowing a 2-0 series lead. Third period here against Pittsburgh, and it's over. Patrick Hornqvist on the power play. It is over. Our offense has 100% died out. Brian Rust scores. I'm just going to hit B. Why not? It's over. Finish game. Marc-Andre Fleury with back-to-back shutouts. This one not exactly as close as the last, as we lose 4-0 in game number 4. And that raises a lot of questions to be shut out in back-to-back games in the playoffs. Obviously far from ideal. Joe Morrow will be back. Will he be 100% is the question, though. One can only hope. That fourth line, Anton Bleed, not a minus player at least, so that's helpful. Matt Bartkowski is absolutely getting taken out of the lineup for Joe Morrow, who actually isn't 100%. I don't want to play him unless he's 100%. So let's take a look here. What else can we do? That first line has been dead silent. Just absolutely silent. So we need to figure out something here. Vetrano hasn't been terrible. Oh, what do we want to do here? What do we want to do? Swap Marchand and Vetrano? You know what? I don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. That's what we're going to go with for now. The second line, I mean, the first and second line have been a bit quiet, and that's a big part of the reason as to why we just blew that lead in this series is the lack of offense from Bergeron, Marchand, and Pastrnak. We'll hope with the line change that they can get the offense going because it is Game 5 here at home against the Pens. Let's do this first period, and we are down yet again. Chris Letang, 4 shots to 3. That is insane, and I think the lowest shot total I've ever seen in a playoff game. But again, we are trailing and have not scored for the longest goddamn time. Second period, we still haven't scored. Nick Bonino makes it 2-0, only 13 shots. 8 shots through 2 periods, boys. And we are in danger of going from 2 games up to 0 to being down 3 games to 2. Our offense has just completely died. We're at least beating them in shots now, or were, for a minute. Holy hell, 5 minutes to go. We are under 5 minutes to go. And Marc-Andre Fleury has shut us out for the 3rd fucking game in a row. I don't know what to say. Legitimately, like, at first it was kind of funny, like, oh, Tuukka made 53 saves. We've been shut out 3 games in a row now by the Penguins. And we are now 1 game away from being eliminated. What the hell can you say to that? I know it's a commentary, and I'm supposed to try to be entertaining. I'm trying to repress a lot of rage right now. What the fuck? How have we been shut out 3 games in a row? That 4th line just hasn't done anything. Like, nobody's done anything, really. Fuck. All right, Bleed and Bartkowski are going down. Danton Heinen's coming up. And I just, fuck, man, I don't know. I don't know. We need to go with whatever lines are going to give us the best chance to win. That is the only solution. Riley Nash will not be in. Danton Heinen will be. So what can we do here? Achari and Schaller haven't been great. So we're going to want Heinen down here. Achari, Schaller, and Bolesky. Not the ideal 4th line, but makes sense to me. We'll go Vetrano, Heinen, Zarnik. Spooner, Krejci, Backes, Marchand, Bergeron, Pastrnak. I'm going to put Pastrnak with Krejci. I think that's good. We'll try that. Defensively, Krug and Trouba haven't been terrible, but they haven't done anything aside from those 1 goal, 1 goal each. That second pairing is getting roughed up, and Colin Miller isn't doing too great. Shit. All right. Fuck, we have to make more changes. Our season's on the line here. We have to do something. I'm just not sure what that something is because it looks like we are about to be eliminated. And I think that something is actually going to be calling Bartkowski back up. I think that's probably our best bet. Tommy Cross just isn't good enough on this game. Let's call up Prosser and Bartkowski again. And he'll get pissed off by the move, but Matt Grzelcyk and Colin Miller. I'm actually going to send down Riley Nash as well. I don't care about morale. If they get pissed off and we can't trade him for anything other than a bag of pucks, then fuck them, whatever. It's not like they're getting it done anyway. So we'll go best lines down here in the AHL. I just want to see who the scratched players are. That is fine. Defensively, Grzelcyk, Miller. Let's just go with that. Fuck me, man. We're going to lose. Oh, we're going to lose. And then we got to go best lines again and get this set back up. So let's go with that right there. Those are the lines that we had. Defensively, we will have Morrow with Carlo, and then Prosser will be with Bartkowski. Not having Chara and having Colin Miller underperform the way he has absolutely crippled us. We can't delay it anymore. It is Game 6 in Pittsburgh. Our season on the line, and one hell of an epic collapse looming over our heads. Let's do this. First period of Game 6. And we finally scored a goal. Thank you, Jesus. We were outshot 14-3, but at least we scored a goddamn goal. Phil Kessel gets the opener, but then David Krejci gets the tying goal. 14 shots to 3. That is absolutely absurd. Second period, though, can we build upon that momentum? And we can, and we have a lead for the first time in ever. Holy shit, Torrey Krug. Oh, Torrey Krug gets the goal. We're being outshot 28-12. just let that sink in. 28-12. As I try to nonchalantly drink water, and I'm sure it's very evident. Third period, Krug finally gets back on the board. We're getting killed in shots. Can Tuukka stand on his head and force a Game 7 back in Boston is the question. We are halfway there. Halfway home. 5 minutes to go. Can Rask do it? He can. Tim Schaller with the empty netter. And somehow, man, outshot 40-24. But we take Game 6 by the score of 3-1. You already know who the first star of the game is going to be. It is Tuukka Rask. 39 saves with a .974 save percentage. 2 points for Pasta. And the goal for Torrey Krug. Thank God we have at least forced a Game 7. I do not believe that Zdeno Chara will be back. Even if he is, he won't be fully healthy. He is not here. We're going to have to go with the Lions that just won us Game 6. We have at least proven to ourselves that we can beat Marc-Andre Fleury. We will just have to see if we can do it again here in Game 7. The Providence Bruins are out of the playoffs in the first round. Is that a sign? It might be. This could be a very bad postseason for our franchise. Here we go. First period of Game 7, and we have the lead. Holy shit. Carl Hagelin gets the opening goal, but then fucking Marchand and Vatrano, a minute apart, exactly 1 minute apart, give us the lead. Again, we're outshot 14-8, but we have a 2-1 lead heading into the second period. Marchand, welcome to the playoffs, buddy. It's good to see you. Same with Vatrano. Second period, I'm afraid to hit the button, and that's why Trevor Daley ties it. We're closer in shots, but it all comes down to this. Third period of Game 7, Bergeron. Welcome to the playoffs. And then Malkin scores right after, because of course he does. Bergeron and Marchand have scored, though. Is it too little, too late? We are tied up. We are halfway home in the third. Marchand gets another one. Thank you. Thank you for finally showing up. Holy shit. 5 minutes to go. David Krejci scores. That should be enough. Nola Chari with the empty netter. And the Bruins fucking hold on in the most Bruins series of Bruins history and all things Bruins. Bruins. We have beaten the Pittsburgh Penguins in 7 games. Holy hell. Marchand, Vatrano, no goals in the second, and then in the third, Bergeron gets on the board. Marchand gets a second. Krejci and Achari. Marc-Andre Fleury collapses in the last 2 games of this series. 2 goals for Marchand, 2 points for Bergeron, 2 points for David Backes. That new top line carries us into the next round. Although, let's be honest, Tuukka Rask carried us into the next round. Again, it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that the Providence Bruins are out and did not make it. But the main team is still here, and we still have a chance. Now, the playoffs haven't ended yet. They should end after this day, and indeed we do. And who else? Who else would it be? They went to 7 games in the first round against the Tampa Bay Lightning. But at the end, they made it through. In the first season, we have this series coming up. Now, starting in the West as we wrap this up. Actually, let's start over in the AHL. Of course, the Bruins lost to the Syracuse Crunch in 4. Starting in the West, though, Minnesota beat Nashville in 6. Chicago beat St. Louis in 7 because, of course, that series went 7. Arizona still in it. They upset the Sharks in 6. And Dallas beat the Kings in 6. So it's Minnesota, Chicago, Arizona, and Dallas. Could be a Minnesota-Dallas matchup in the next round. Or maybe the Coyotes make it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since, I believe, 2012. Was it 2012 when they made it against the LA Kings? On the East, the Caps once again fail. They lose to the Islanders in 5. Philly sweeps the best team in the NHL, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Montreal beats Tampa in 7. And, of course, we outlast Pittsburgh. So there you have it. In the next round, in the next episode, guys, who else would it be? Of course it happened like this. In the next round, we play the Montreal Canadiens. And we can only hope for good things as you get a look at the point totals. I almost forgot. Let me know if you have any line suggestions. Hopefully Zdeno Chara will be back. But I think the most likely option is to simply keep the lines that just happened to win us that series. Tuukka Rask with a .940 save percentage. You are my goddamn hero. Guys, that is it for this one. This episode's gone on long enough. If you made it through all of this, seriously, I applaud you and I thank you for the support. Of course, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button to help support my channel and this video and this series. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to continue following this series. Although I have a feeling, if you're listening to me right now and you made it through half an hour, you want to keep following this series. And again, I thank you. I will see you guys in the next episode. It's Boston against Montreal, because of course it is.